October 20th, 2024. I wanted to just document that I planted a lime tree here on the farm last night. We bought this one from a local greenhouse. Obviously, it looks really nice, doesn't have any flowers or limes on it. We named him Blimey the Limey. While I was doing that, I also uprooted a clementine that we had right there that was clearly not performing or growing or not happy in the soil, and then I put papaya there as a surprise. So we'll see what type of papaya grow in there after cleaning up the soil. We had another orange tree right there, which is obviously not growing. I'm gonna figure out what to do with that guy. I think I'm gonna put him somewhere else. Yeah, give you a quick update of the property. The gentleman who was using the tractor kept using a spot out front as a parking lot. I feel like he was concerned that his tractor investment would be broken into if he parked it anywhere else. So like I said, I told him, yeah, no problem, you can park it in front of our property. I said my kids will love it. So as a result of my, whatever you want to call it, kindness, hospitality, just basic human nature, as a result, you can see what I got as a present. We had this idea anyway when we moved into the property that, hey, there's like a whole section here along our property line that we could carve out for another parking spot. So now, if you pull up to our property, not that we needed it, but you have this whole spot to park if you want. Yeah, I'm standing in a parking spot that you could fit 2 or 3 cars in, or an RV up front if you wanted to do that, right in front of our swing. So I thought that was pretty cool. Pretty nice of the guy. And the road is a bit more drivable. And of course I've got this cool flag in the front, right by the sign for L.O.V.E Farmstay. So yeah, look at this. I mean, this is a lot of gravel, a lot of road. So I guess it pays to be nice to guys with construction gear. Look at this giant boulder. So now we're back where the coconuts are. Might give them some compost. And you can see what I've been up to. Just path building, adding more gravel to our road, the roadway that I made through here. All this is new growth. You can see there's a green pepper plant in there with red peppers on it, or a red pepper plant. Our cauliflower in there, I think it's a purple cauliflower, is growing. Spicy ashwani is in there and producing for us. And now we're in my banana circle, inspired by Miguel at Orchard of Flavors, obviously. And it's funny, you know, I met a couple from New Zealand who came all the way to look at how a banana circle is supposed to look when I was at Orchard of Flavors last, and we were at like a vegan event. And I told them, you know, I'm not trying to take his business, but I was like, yeah, we did a banana circle too, as inspired by here. So the only difference is they put the compost on the inside. So my whole thing is I'm putting the compost between the vetiver and the bananas. So this would be the pathway for compost, and that's going to be organic material from the vetiver, leaves from the bananas. You can see the little path right here, and it'll go basically around here where you can see where I've piled some, and here as well, organic material going through here like compost. That is the plan. So that's the only difference, and one of the reasons that I've done it differently like that than Miguel in my banana circle is because obviously I'm using this as a set for the morning banana show. That one orange or clementine that I uprooted that I was showing you near the new Limey the Blimey is right here. And this is the reason I didn't want to give up on him. I chopped him down. I replanted him with a lot of good soil, with some mix of rocks and stone and good soil at the bottom. But the reason I didn't want to give up on him is because he's got new shoots, whereas the other one doesn't. So there's some hope for that clementine, and I know that you might think that's kind of silly, but these were in the same condition, these guys here that are in the pots, and we brought them back to life. You can see new life growing on them. I'm learning, obviously I'm really good at growing papaya seedlings. These are all like papaya seedlings. That's an orange that I grew from seed. That one's actually doing really well. Surprise. Yeah, so I'm really good at a few things, and we're learning what we're good at. We're learning what our farm is capable of. Obviously, we have the whole banana circle on lock, and we're good at papayas, but oranges and citrus, so far, we have not had much success with. So we're learning as we go. And, we need to have limes for all these papayas. This is a papaya tree. And I have another one here and here. So there's 3 papaya trees going to be here. And we're going to have maybe 1 or 2 on this side. So that is the plan. But the plan isn't just to look at trees, right? The plan is to eat the fruit. That's something to keep in mind. So there comes a point where if it's not producing fruit, you got to kind of step in and figure out what it is. In many cases, it's farmer error, it's location. It is, I'm learning again as I go. We're learning a lot just from talking to fellow farmers. For instance, in Canada, we use this thing called biochar, and it's not what it sounds like, but we had thought, well, we could make some type of biochar because we have a fire pit. That was probably one of the worst ideas we've ever had, and it's a miracle that any of these trees that we planted, where we put some organic fire pit charcoal in the bottom, it's a miracle that they're growing. So some of them we had to uproot and kind of start again because of that dumb idea. But some of these things you think, Adam, why didn't you just ask the internet before you did it? So like I said, I'm learning as I go. We're really good at a lot of things, and we're not so great at some other things. We're still in our first year, so I think if you saw this property, which if you follow me on X, you saw this property when we were looking at it to buy it. You saw, and you see it now. And all this development, all this real estate development in Portugal here has been done in a year. And you could do the flashback as well as I can, but like this was nothing. This was just blocked off and not accessible to the road. So your boy here has been developing this land, with an intent to stay here, to farm here. I don't really want to, I don't buy property to flip it. But I always know, okay, there's a possibility that we might get out of this place in the future. So add value, Papaya is there. Vetiver. I'm going to go get some scissors and trim some of that vetiver. And this is the sugar cane. Look at that sugar cane. We've been watching it grow together, you and I. That was just a little sprig sticking out of the ground, and now it's like, I want to eat you. At some point, you have to eat it. We'll chop it and eat it. That's exciting. Yeah, I didn't really have it in mind to plant sugarcane, right? So clearly we're good at growing sugarcane too, as an example. I didn't have it in my mind to plant sugarcane, but then I went to Orchard of Flavors and, you know, I saw how sugarcane is growing in the Algarve and I was like, I want me some of that. So, I mean, that's the point of the Orchard of Flavors project of Miguel's, is to show people, if you didn't already know, that basically everything grows here in the Algarve. The only thing you have to be cautious of is too much sun. So you always have to be aware of like your sun, full sun, partial sun, disco light. Those are just melons that I just planted. We just ate a bunch of melons and I put the seeds there. And as you can see, it's growing. So basically everything grows here. How you dig the hole and your soil prep is basically everything. The upfront work here, from what we've seen and what we've learned, if I could say like anything as a takeaway, it's that the upfront work in prepping the site and pardon me, the proper soil, if you put a little bit more into the upfront work, then it's easier on the long run and you'll get more productivity, faster growing plants if you just spend that little extra on the upfront, which sometimes, you know, you're excited to just plant a tree, but the upfront prep is everything. And even though I'm not doing the best upfront prep that you can, I'm still doing a lot better than when we started. So that's farming, you know, vegan off-grid farming in a nutshell. You're learning as you go, you're learning what works, and I'm documenting it here. You know, when we have our first bananas from the banana circle, it's going to be a trip. Like, for example, speaking of learning as I go, we planted, this is fox. We planted fox here or near here when we moved in, and then it started dying. I mean, you can see this is like one of the healthiest plants that we have, but it started dying, and it was because of my dumb idea about planting it with biochar. So live and learn. So I had to basically take it out, put it back in a pot, rehabilitate it, and now it's like one of the healthiest. If you compare it to the leaves to the other ones, it's one of the healthiest banana pups that we have. In fact, it has its own. There's two there, probably even three. So, you know, when your babies start having babies, and my babies can have babies all they want, I just want some freaking bananas. Look at this guy. Pretty sure that's some type of melon. We're gonna find out together. The critters got to it and took a bite out of it, but yeah. That's our update for today, October 20th. Here at L.O.V.E Farmstay. Come check us out. In the L.O.V.E, darling. In the L.O.V.E.
And here we see the heavy metal bird in the wild, banging his head to the sound of Blimey.
Are you tired of reincarnating? Me too! Now show the world that you don't want to reincarnate with this Do Not Reincarnate t-shirt!
I'm off the grid.